Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I am here today as a mystery guest for Tamika Morris, who is Tamika Sending Smiles, and she is hosting a mystery swap. Basically, it's a one-on-one swap, and every week a new guest crafter will have a project that you can make for your swap. If you need more details, please visit Tamika Morris at Tamika Sending Smiles. So my mystery item is a folio. Look at how gorgeous this is. I use Stampin' Up! Bubble Bath, which is a current color, and Minte, My Happy Place, as the paper. Now, I haven't decided what I want to put on the front yet, so I'll just do that later. But when I open this all up, you're going to be like, there's no way this is quick and easy. It is. Watch. So you open it up. You open it up. And normally this is all we have for a folio. But, surprise, here's the mystery. There's more. I love, love, love this folio. It has a waterfall here for 4x6 pictures. We have a waterfall here for 3x4 pictures, or journaling, or whatever you want to do. Let's get some pictures so you can see it. Okay, so the waterfall, it holds a full 4x6, like so, with just a little bit of a border. And I chose the angle punch because even if the person you give it to is not a crafty person that doesn't have the angle punch, you can just cut it with scissors. So see, a full 4x6, so you don't need to mat the top and the bottom. But if you wanted to, you could have the picture up there and you could put a couple of 2x3s on the front so you can still look at that gorgeous paper, but have the full flip photos up here. Just kind of tell that story, right? Super fun. And then when you flip all the way down, you have another space for a 4x6 down here, or you can collage out a 3x4 and a 2x3, or, you know, however you want to do it. This here, again, this waterfall, again, you can just do little pictures and have your paper tell the story. These are 2x3s. A vertical 3x4, and this is actually a little bit bigger than 3x4 because it's a Polaroid, but I just wanted to show you that you could really tell that story. Where's another 2x3? You can just kind of collage it up and really just tell that story on every single page. Okay, so I didn't mat the backs because I meant the backs to have more pictures. But if you think that's all, think again. Here we go. Because this paper is so busy, I would just maybe leave it, or you can put a little picture, cut out, you know, the head and put that there. But watch, it opens. So again, you have room for a full 4x6. You have room for your 2x3s. And guess what? We're going to open again. So now we have all of this extra room. You can lay your photos like so and journal in between. You can add more paper, you know, make a focal point, however you lay out your paper. But this album has so much real estate for pictures. I typically do mine for 4x6 and 2x3 pictures because that's what I print the most. You could even put some on the flaps if you wanted to. I probably would stay away from my magnets and just put one in the middle. But, you know, everyone's magnets are different. So let's go ahead and make this, okay? So I'm grabbing this green. It's Mint Macaroon, Retired Stampin' Up. And I size this to be perfect for your 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper. But you can obviously use 12 by 12s or whatever you want. So first thing we're going to do is cut you, and your cutting guide is in the description box. you're going to cut your first sheet of paper at 5.5 by 8.5. So take your 8.5 by 11, put the long side up top, and you're going to cut that at 5.5. I have to be careful with my 5.5 because I broke my paper trimmer. And so now the arm doesn't stay. And this piece doesn't get scored. So this is our base. You're going to just put that to the side. Your next cut is going to be 4.5 by 8.5. So that same piece of paper, you're going to cut that down to 4.5. And you're going to score that at, on the short side, you're going to score that at 2 3/4 and 3 3/4. Okay, that looks kind of big. What am I doing here? Okay, that's fine. Okay, I cut my paper wrong. It's 4 1/4. So definitely follow the measurements on the cutting guide. That, if you did the larger, it doesn't matter because this piece is going to get glued into your book anyway, so it's fine. All right, so we have that. The next piece is 7 by 8.5. So again, I would put the long side at top and cut it at 7 because we're going to use that other piece. And this piece is going to get scored at 1/2 inch and 1.5. So 1/2 inch and 1.5. Okay. And then you're going to need a piece that is 6.5 by 8.5. So again, put that the long side at top. So 6.5 by 8.5, and that is scored at 1/2 inch and 1. So 1/2 inch and 1. Okay. You can write on your paper, you know, what these measurements are if that makes you feel more comfortable. We're going to do our other cuts later. So keep these scrap papers, okay, because we're going to use those. But we're going to first assemble. Excuse my mat. I learned it's not self-healing. Okay, so your piece of paper that we just did, the 6.5 by 8.5, that is going to be your far right. Your piece that does not have any score marks, that's your middle. Your piece that has to it, your 4 1/4 piece, that's your left. And this piece, which is, I should have wrote them, 7 by 8 is actually your third piece. Okay, so let's work with our piece that's 4 1/4 by 8.5. You're going to mount and fold, and you're going to put your tape on the inside on the bumpy side. I am using 3/8 inch tape. Okay, found my tape. So I'm going to go ahead and just tape the inside of that. And use whatever you have that is a straight edge to cut that off. There we go. And now what we're going to do is attach it to that piece that's 5.5 by 8.5 that had no score marks. And I am going right up to that score line. We're not going over it. We're just going to go right up. You know what? I need to put my tape in this way. it right up to it. Okay, I can't do it that way. And there we go. Okay, so now you have what looks like this. Okay, now on the other side, we need the piece that is the third piece, which this piece was the 7 by 8.5. And we are going to do the same thing, melt and fold, tape on the inside, add it to our folio. I'm much better when I just go for it. Oh. I work upside down, so you're going to see me flipping these things. Okay, there we go. So this is what we have so far. This is your normal folio. Now we're going to add our third piece. Well, I guess technically fourth piece. Same thing, mount and fold, add the tape to the inside. And add it on to your, the last piece we just added on. So add it on to the right. And there you go. So yes, you have 1 inch here, 1 inch here, and you have 1/2 inch here. That's so this surprise piece can fold up into your book, okay? That's why we did that. Because if not, then it's not going to fold properly. And this is what we got, okay? So now what we're going to do is go ahead and cut our inside pieces. We need 5 pieces at 4 1/4 by 6 3/4. So this is how I'm going to show you how to do it. Take your 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, put it on the long side, cut it at 6 3/4. Leave that same cut in there, score it at 1/2 inch. And then you're going to rotate it and cut it at 4 1/4. That way you got 2 done at the same time. And then on this last piece, you're going to cut it to 4 1/4 by 6 3/4. And you're going to score it on the long side at 1/2 inch. Okay, so that way you can get 3 out of 1 sheet of 3.5 by 11 pieces of paper. We have to do those measurements so that way you have a full mat for your 4 by 6 pictures. I did 3, so this is number 4, and I'm using scraps. And number 5. So if you want to put, well, wait, I was going to say if you want to put 6, but I don't think you have enough room for 6. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you only want to put 3, you only have to put 3. Okay, it doesn't matter. But I want it total of 5. So here are my total of 5. Make sure you're scoring it 1/2 inch on the long side. Put that there. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and tape all of mine. And while you're taping, you need to think about matting. Okay. So for me, I did not add a full sheet of paper underneath my waterfall because the paper I was using, the Mente, my Happy Place, it is super thick. So I had to cut down on the bulk where I could, hence why I didn't want to do the backs of my waterfalls as well as the front because it just would have been way too bulky. And if you're using 4x6 pictures, you wouldn't be able to see it anyway. Except for like 1/8 of an inch, which is a waste of paper. But what I'm talking about is here on the waterfall. We're here right now, okay? So I put my waterfall down first. And then I took a piece of paper and I covered the rest of the page. And then I took little 1/2 inch strips and just added them here. So it kind of color blocked, gave it a little bit more interest. You can add paper strips in here. I opted not to do it there just because I really love that paper showing through because everything else was so busy. Okay, so that's where we're at with these 5. So come back over to your portfolio and you're going to decide where you want your waterfall. If you want to mat first and have the whole thing covered, some people like to put their waterfall on a separate sheet of paper and then glue it in. I don't do that just because usually my projects are super bulky, so I don't do that. But anyway, we're working with the full right hand side. I have to work upside down, so I flip mine upside down. And I'm going from the top, leaving a tiny bit of border because I'm a border girl. Putting it in the center as best as I can, which it's not. But that's okay. And you're going to make sure you use your bone folder and get that all the way down. Go with your next one. The best waterfall is a flat one, so using that bone folder or whatever you have is going to be the absolute best. So you're just going to line it up and go for it. And again, I am working upside down because that's just how I need to work. Okay, so here we go. One more. Okay. And we are good to move on to the next part. Okay. There we go. So there's my waterfall. All right, now we're going to be working in this middle section, if you will. So that right here, this is where I have my other little waterfall and I have a magnetic closure. You don't have to have the closure. I just did not varnish my paper wall and it was alligator mouthing and it was getting on my nerves, and so I made the little belly band out of scraps. So keep in mind, you can also do a ribbon closure if you have someone who can't have magnets. Okay, so here we go. So we're going to need 4 pieces that are 4 by 8.5. So again, use your scraps. 1 piece should be already at 4. And you're going to score it on the short side at 1/2 inch. Okay, so there's 1. Again, I'm taking my long side. 2. 3, and I'm going to use a scrap. And 4. I picked these measurements because they were pieces of scrap that I had. I had no idea what to do with. So you turn it into a beautiful folio. And all of these are scored on the short side at 1/2 inch. And you're going to go ahead and put your tape on all of those. And you're going to mountain fold all of those. And the tape is on the outside here. Okay. The cutting is a little bit off right there. Okay. So the same as you do a waterfall, I'm going to turn my paper because again I work upside down. And I'm just going, this is going to be from top to bottom. This one I'm not leaving a border. I'm going right up to that score line. Not on it, not over it, right up to it. And gosh, did that a little crooked. Okay. And I did fix mine. I'm using a little bit of undo. That's why I like using the tape, because this will allow you to pick that tape back up. And it will dry. Alright, so then I'm just going to line up my next one. And just continue on until you have all of them down. The first one's always the hardest one, because these ones you can match it up. Alright, so then after you get all 4 of your pieces down, then you're going to cut your little flaps and you're done. Matting is a whole nother time frame. That's some people are fast matters and their stuff always comes out looking like they spent, you know, 6 days on it and they spent 20 minutes. I'm a slow matter because I don't enjoy matting. I enjoy the construction, but I am getting a lot better at matting. Okay, so there's those 4. Now see how it alligator mounts? Because I have them butted up against each other, they are not going to lay as flat as my waterfall. So now you can just pick a scrap and make a belly band like I did. Okay. I think I cut mine down. I have the measurements, what I actually did, in the description box. I know it was like 1 1/4. Let me see. I wrote it down. The belly band was 1 1/4 by 4. If you want it exactly like mine, I don't think it really matters. And then on the long side, scored at 1/2 inch. Tape on that 1/2 inch because it's going to go down like this. Okay. Tape. Okay. So this you definitely want to put down before you mat, so that way your matting hides the band. I'm looking for the book. What did I do with the book? Okay. So this is where we're at here. So as you can see, my matting hid the belly band. Okay. All right. So tape. Make sure all 4 of your pieces are up, and I'm bringing it here right up to that score line. This looks right about middle. And I'm laying that down. Okay. So here's where you want to write yourself a note. Magnet. Because I always forget. Alright, so there you go. You can do another belly band to hold this waterfall too, but I don't think it's necessary in my opinion. But if you like the look of that, then go for it. Alright, so that whole side is done. Now we need to come here, which this piece is here. We have our flap, our 2 flaps. It's only 2 flaps. It looks like it's more, but it's only 2 flaps. Okay, so we need Did I not write that down? Okay, so we need 2 pieces that are 5.5 by 8, scored at 1/2 inch on the short side. So last piece of 8.5 by 11 paper, put the long side up top and cut it at 5.5. They both should be 5.5, but I know this is the old paper, so sometimes it's bigger. By like 1/8 of an inch. And then we're going to score on the short side at 1/2 inch. Oh, come on both pieces. We're going to put tape on the dented side, and then we're going to put it on either side here. Okay, so tape on the dented side, and then we're going to mountain fold that. Okay, so here we go. Use that bone folder. Alright, I'm going to cut off this raggedy edge that I did here. It doesn't matter, you wouldn't have seen it, but I feel better. Okay, bring our book back in, and we're just going to put one on either side. That's it. Up to that score line, but not over it, not touching it. Okay, that one. And then you're just going to put it on the other side. Again, up to that score line, not over it, not touching it. Oh gosh. Oh no. Okay, so what am I doing here? I can't see because there's a shadow. Okay, there you go. So that is it, guys. And then it just folds in like so. Super easy, under 30 minutes. Obviously add a couple minutes because I did turn the camera off to put tape on some stuff, but that's it. And then you're going to mat it however you see fit. Yeah. See, flip and flip. And waterfall. And waterfall, secret hidden compartment. Oh, and I did add 2 magnets to mine, 2 large magnets. So I would write yourself a note if you're going to use magnets. This one I probably wouldn't use a ribbon closure because it's going to be awkward because it does have that fold out. Unless you're going to add a ribbon. I don't even know how you would add a ribbon. You guys are crafty, you can figure it out. But here we go. I did a magnet here and a magnet there. And, you know, I'm just going to write magnet. Just so I remember to put my magnets. Like so. Alright guys, I hope you love this tutorial. Thanks for watching. Bye.